Well, hello, hi, how are you guys? I was just waiting for a couple seconds for my daughter to come with my glass so I can pour a little bit of champagne in because it's cocktails and cards tonight, Friday night. Look at my beautiful girl. She was getting her pictures taken today. Show in.
No.
Come in here. Come in here. She was getting her pictures taken for her graduation. There she is. Oh, she's really blurry. Oh, no, it focused on you for a second. She's pretending to be all bashful. So she is the one that gave me these beautiful glasses. And I have these cutest little splits of Prosecco that I found. And so listen to that, hey? It's good because I only drink so much. So yes, do join us. It's cocktails and cards. And most of the time I have tea. There's a party in the glass. I love that noise. Anyways, most of the time I just have, you know what? I need her to go and get me some apricot brandy. Hold on one second. Genevieve? G? Will you go grab me the apricot brandy too, please? So, it's like a French slip, except I don't know what really goes in a French slip, I think is what it's called. But Prosecco is actually just Prosecco is like the pop of any cocktail that you want, whether you add it to something, but you need to add it to something, I think. Let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, otherwise it's just champagne, and it shouldn't be on ice if it's just champagne. Anyways, I'm laughing. Okay, so yes, cards. Did I say cocktails and cards just in case people are coming on? They're like, is this a drinking party? Although we did do a drinking party one time on Zoom. It was kind of fun. It came, I think they were in Ottawa, Ontario, rather. Not, I don't think it was Ontario. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, and my girlfriend in our little bubble, it must have been just sort of after, kind of. She doesn't want to get back on there. So a little apricot brandy, a little raspberry, what's that, Chambord? Is that what it is? A little Chambord is really, really nice. Oh, I better watch what I'm doing. Anyways, I wouldn't put a creamy one in with it. I think that would be really gross. But anyways, okay. School. Hello, Roz. All right, let's see. That's the ticket. Yes, yummy. All right. So I don't actually know 100% what to tell you today because I was just on yesterday morning. Oh, I went dancing last night. We went two-stepping, and so I was busy dancing. We have a band here. I'm cleaning up. Hi, Keisha. I'm just going to pop you down because I'm busy cleaning, and cleaning's no fun. So let's just get down to business here. My eyes are all over the place. I know that. So that's what I'm mostly concerned about. Oops. All right, so tilt this a little tiny bit that way. Zoom this in a little tiny bit. Thursday morning, we do the ABCs of techniques and card making, in card making. We were on P, so I was doing paper piecing, which to me, this is classic paper piecing. The jacket is as well. It kind of looks like I colored it, but it's the back side of one of those beautiful papers that we have. And I did the umbrella and also did her boots. So her pants are inked. And then right over top of the coat, I did do that. So that's a fun one to watch, I think. I gave it a little try with this guy to see what it would be like to do like a really weird, like plaid flowers kind of. I kind of like it and kind of needs a little tiny bit of work. So neither of them got their cards finished. Kind of interesting when I was scrolling because the way Facebook is, I don't know what they're, what's that called? This is my cute little, isn't that cute? So yes, grab your cocktail. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, I am coloring something. I feel like I was going to tell you, I feel like I said something that I was going to do today, but I can't. Oh, you know what? My eyes cast down. We'll do this. There's a new set. What was I going to try and tell you before I finish? I should finish one story and go on to the next, but since I can't remember, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is Thankful Garden. It's a new stamp set. I will demonstrate it. Oh, I know, I do know what I'm going to say. I'll try to remember by looking over at her. FYI, this is like very small. It's not. It's a great size, but it's only 75%. Imagine my surprise when I opened it up and it was like, bong. So I'm going to go grab a couple pieces of our beautiful paper. Today I was busy at a calligraphy class, actually. So my cards will all be beautifully addressed now, maybe. Which I'm laughing because if I'm supposed to have gotten a couple things into the mail for people, I'm like, they'll know, because I won't be able to resist not showing off the beautiful calligraphy. And so they'll be like, you didn't post this until 100 years from now. Yeah, you're right. So this, what's unique about this one is it's not just another flower set. It is, it has a masks. It has, like I'm going to be coloring, yeah, masks, stencils, masks. I had been asked the other day, and I think some of you may have read it, do I really like this new ink pad? And I answered very honestly, yes, a resounding yes. I do think I do need to put a little tiny bit more ink. I put hardly any on to begin with. And I do actually think I need to put a little bit of ink. But yes, it surprises me how beautifully it stamps. So I did it, the old Memento thing, you took the lid off and on, and as you put the lid on, no matter how careful you were, you still kind of clip the thing all the time. The thing, that's good English, but anyways, the edge, and my fingers, whew, did you see that? You did see it go flying across there, sorry. My fingers would get all inky. Clearly I have to put that somewhere way more safe. And so yes, but the surprising thing to me is, and it doesn't make any sense, it shouldn't make any crisper. Literally, this ink pad is no different than any of our other ink pads. And yet, look, I'm going to do it actually and see. Maybe the formulation of the ink is actually lovely. Let's ink this one. Oh, that looks so beautiful. I'm going to do it this way just because otherwise they might crisscross. Let's see if I love this just as much. And I do let it sit for a second. That's kind of not me being a scatterbrain. It actually, there's so much ink distributed onto the pad, onto the stamp, that I feel like if we can let it soak for a nanosecond underneath onto the paper without pressing kind of thing, just letting it transfer a little tiny bit, you just have it good. So now there's a little bit of a black underlay, so it's not the pure misty that it should be, but I don't know, maybe the formulation is just a little tiny bit extra. I will say, it just, there's something bizarre about it. Okay, colors for this little sucker. Do I have, here they are. So the story with this, I'm scrolling. I'd love to know the analytics of Facebook and stuff, because have you noticed that if you look at something, all of a sudden it feeds you like 62 more of the same thing in the next, 7 swipes. And you're like, oh, why did I take a peek at that? Now they're going to forever be on to me with that, right? And, okay, that's both leaves. Okay. All right. I have to be real honest with you. I think I'm going to be taking some scissors and cutting these in half. And instead of having 7 of these or whatever, I'm going to cut them in half. What they've done is they've put both things on here, which when you get going, I could easily catch the little, they're far enough away, no problem, so I'll do it for quite a while. This one here is awfully close though. But anyways, okay. It was funny because I honestly, this very first one I was looking at, I'm like, well, those leaves look like these leaves. Oh, wait, no, those aren't. Oh, okay, that's not it. Oh, wait, there's those leaves again. So, all right, this is number 5. So they're doing their leaves last. Okay, so this is the very first one that we need. This is the black side. Colors. That was what I was, so this one's good and obvious if you're like me. So you can do these stamp and then ink, or ink and then stamp. You can do it either way, and both ways is okay. You will know instantly that you have this the wrong way because it won't line up. The key, if you are inking first, is that you have to be able to feel the number 1. Pay attention to where the notch is, sort of, and go from there. So for a lot of these, you can kind of feel where they are. Feel your way. If you're like Olivia Newton-John, you better shape up, 'cause I need a man. All right. I don't know why I don't have this one square. If I square this up, this one's just about on line here. So if you take a little something, and I panic the girls when I've done this before, but it's okay. I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to say that that's where that is, and this is sort of here. And that way then I have half an idea if I need to know it later. Always the notch will go in a similar space. And I feel like I don't need to have it exact, but if I do, I'll worry about that in a few times. This time I don't need it. The other nice thing you could do quite nicely is you can tape this down with a little bit of washi tape. And my thing on that for sure is use it or lose it, because, hi Mary, because they do eventually lose their stickiness. But not really, like they're still sticky. So, and there's new stuff coming out. And the coolest thing, one of them that they're going to be doing is crazy. They're going to have, what color do I want this? Sorry, I have to think of this or else I won't get started. I'm going to do some peach pie over top of some lolly. And then I'm going to do that with shaded spruce and granny apple green. What the heck? Why not? Okay, so I need some of these guys. So now we're masking. All right, anyways, okay, so yesterday I'm doing paper piecing with the umbrellas of all things. And I posted it on Creativity for Everyone because a few, like 5 hours later, I'm scrolling again, checking out things and comments and stuff. And so we start off the page and come on to our project. And with the glass mat, and okay, so I'm planning on cutting this out, so I have no problem that I've hit off, but be aware that obviously I'd want to start on a bigger, fatter side if I don't want it to be on the paper, right? So pay attention. I'm cutting mine out, so I'm okay. And you go over the entire thing. Everything that's unmasked is for you to give her on. And I feel like the yellow is picking up whatever little bit of orangey. This is not quite as lemon lolly-ish as I would like to think, and that's okay because I'm adding in some extra color anyway, so we'll be fine. It's still going to be the lightest color. Honestly, even if all you have is like one ink pad, if I masked all of them with the same color, you would still get some wonderful shading and stuff just because of adding more ink on top of more ink on top of more ink. That's beautiful. So I'm scrolling along and I find, so I've got 2 and 3 and, okay, so 3. I'm just wondering how many colors. So the next one I am just going to do, again, with the same yellow actually. So I'll show you right now how that'll work. So again, I know that's going to go something like this. And lovely. Somebody was doing paper piecing on their live. And I was like, that is so cool. And the plaid and the umbrellas. They were doing the plaid with the umbrella. They did one of the little, like I always call it the little boy. They were doing him with the plaid. It was her coat and it looked like it was tweed. It was really cool. All right, this will be fun to see how this changes. So again, I'm starting off on the plastic and coming on with the nice glass mat. If you start off, you can actually, same one here, you can push the color. You don't actually ever end up not kind of using that color. Well, you can reuse it a little bit. You can move it back onto it. Does that make sense? So if I have it all here and then I come up here and you're like, yeah, you can clearly see there's some yellow there, I think, if you can't. But I can kind of push that back on. So I reuse it. So at the end, it should be quite clean all the way around because it all should get put onto the paper. And this is actually going to be a fair amount of... I haven't done this one yet, so I'm not sure which way that is. But anyways, okay, ready for the reveal? Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to zoom in just a little tiny bit. Hi, Susan. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ba-ba! Look how pretty that is. Neat, hey? Okay. And then the third piece is going to highlight what? Dun, dun, dun. And this is where you might want to have this more lined up with where it is in that one, because you're not going to 100% know. You can guess at a couple things. On most of them, you can kind of guess a little bit. This one, I am a little bit stumped. Okay. Okay, so some lines, some more lines. So this one wouldn't be bad to be a little bit better lined up, just FYI. And I'm going to bring in some peach on this one. But I feel that I've got the right going on here in the way that I've spaced it. For the way that some of the lines are lining up, I kind of feel like. And I'm definitely not on clean white space. So I'm going to be going over top of colors that are already there. So that's the most important thing. And this is, this peach pie is not too far off of, that'll be crazy. But I'm not going to put a ton on. That's it. Ta-da! So just a nice little bit amount more. So nice. So interesting. I will do another one of these down the road. This one definitely looks good here. Some of these I feel like they didn't hit quite where maybe they intended. So I'll do one where I mark it really, really carefully so that I know, so that I do one totally right. But this one would make a card in a heartbeat for me. I'm not too fussy. It looks nice. I'm kind of surprised. I actually thought all the inner leaves would definitely have, and like just about all of that guy would have had, and this guy should have as well. So it's different highlighting than I would do, but I don't think it was my lining up. But it could have been. Not to discredit anything going on here. All right, so now my leaves. This should also line up. Let's see how far I can tell you now how good or bad I was, because I'm definitely going to line this up. Okay. So I was right. So I don't know if you can see this, but to line this up more or less, my ticky is nowhere near. So I'm not sure what I was doing, but there it is. All right, that is totally lined up. And you do want to take, you don't want to rush on this. You do want it to be lined up. Does that make sense? Because this is your chance to mask perfectly. It's fast enough as you're doing it. So this is the time where you need to take a few seconds. Watch that all your lines are covered so that you're not going to be coloring outside the lines unless you're supposed to be, right? Okay, some greens. Alligator. So the house band that was playing yesterday plays every Thursday night in at it's called Chimax, and it's yummy food. They do you know what? I don't think I'm going to do the dark shaded spruce. I have my lemon lime here. Although I don't think I want this color. Okay, I am. Okay, I'm going to do granny apple after all. I'm lying. And shaded spruce. Chimax band. House band. Oh, this is a dark color. What am I trying to tell you? Oh, they do cover, they do covers. They do their own. They have recorded their own songs as well, but they do covers, and they did a Bono, is With or Without You his? I don't know if that's his. I feel like it is, but anyways, so they did that one. They do Midnight. That could be a country song too, but anyways, I don't know. Okay, so I just was reaching for the other one. Really, you always have to change your mat. This guy too. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Nice. And then we'll add a little texture to this, and it'll be beautiful. This one also should give us enough clue of where we're supposed to be. So we'll hope for that. Get it in here. My dog is barking, and I'm wondering why. This is odd. There's actual space there, and I'm not sure what that is. The quietness was actually finding out. I'm listening to what between my daughter came home for the weekend, and the two of them are talking about why the dog is barking, and I'm curious, so I'm listening. People are walking? Yeah, I think people are walking. All right, so this is going to work. I'm actually kind of surprised how much space they have for the second color. Does that make sense? Usually the second one is just a little bit of highlights. This is quite a lot of highlights, kind of. This is the second layer. And I could have just done it with the Granny Apple again, and that'd been okay too. So I'm not going to do a ton because the spruce is very strong. And we'll see what that looks like. Dun, da, da, da. That is not as pretty as I'd like it to be. Let's go with that. Let's go with that phrase. That being said, I'm going to bring this back in. Let's see. Now, usually the girls laugh if I'm doing some things. Sometimes I'm losing stuff lots. So the drinking broke down to a drinking game as well. And so you have permission with, what's that called? The caveat of drinking responsibly. Go ahead and help yourself to your cocktails as you go along. Okay, you're thinking, what are you doing, Lori? I'm finding, I don't know why, and it might just be my eyes today, but it just seemed a little bit, I don't know. I'm just going to add this over top of it. It seems a little, it didn't seem right. So I'm adding in more of its own tone on tone. I do like, I like these two colors together, I'm pretty sure, but it just doesn't seem like the highlight was right. So let's hope for this. Hang on before I take it all out. Yeah, it's better. Maybe. Very interesting highlighting. I think it'll grow on me, but it's interesting. I feel like I was going to tell you something, but I don't remember what, so we'll go from there. We are going to do the other one too. We'll see what it's like. I think that's going to be in some pretty blues. And we're going to take a break for 5 seconds for me to enjoy my little cocktail. Hi, Vicki. I got to visit with Vicki today. I did get home in time. We only just finished eating. Supper took a few minutes, which was nice. I made like kind of was a roast beast, but we didn't get any roasts this time. I have a buffalo farm here in Rocky, and we've got lots of cuts of steaks actually this time. I don't know where my stamp is. You know what? I'm going to show you. Oh, it's hard though to do without the lines. I was going to say, okay, oh no, that's not it. All right, you get to drink because I totally have lost my stamps. I don't know where they are. And in real truth, I may not be able to find them because they're gone. They were yesterday's project, so they might be gone and lost forever. There is a big mess on my desk again. Honest to goodness, I clean this up and it gets messy again just like that. This could be it. Cross your fingers, ladies. I don't feel like it is. Oh, it is. I thought it was going to be the tulips, but it's not. Okay, good. Anyway, so I've been cooking them because I'm not sure they're... It's interesting because buffalo doesn't have very much fat at all. Generally, they're known for very little fat and like very lean meat and lots of iron. And I have to say that the roasts are very much like that, and like the gravy is always really yummy and stuff like that. But the meat, I'm feeling like it's tasting best to be crock potted, basically, like pressure cooked. And I will eventually now. It's not very warm out still. I will eventually barbecue one and hopefully it'll be good and then it'll be okay. Bottom line, the nice thing about the Instapot is if I barbecue a piece of meat and it's really just tough and chewy, well, then I just recook it again. And sorry for anybody that's a real cook and that feels like really bad. But for me, it's like, well, it cooks it up and it tastes yummy. So there. Okay, I'm a little bit hooped here. When you have these down, if you leave these silicones on your blocks and you go to take them off, don't just rip at them. Ply a little tiny bit. I could rip the stem right off if I wasn't being a little bit careful, okay? So just be aware. The longer it sits on, the more scary it is. What they've done with this one is kind of interesting. I don't know if it was to help release it or to keep spaces not to get ink in it, which I think that's what it's for, is not to get ink. But there's also, those are stress spots, so you can't just tug at them. They're not invincible necessarily. They're sturdy and well made, but do be gentle with your stuff. Now I'm hoping that as I was taking it off, I wasn't really rattling this. I didn't clean it, of course, so my fingers are filthy. Hopefully we'll cross our fingers, but I did want to push down on the very middle of it. That was what I was getting at. Okay, good. Happy. All right. And it was no harm, no foul to keep it on that long, as long as it didn't jiggle around. Okay, so this one I kind of thinking I want like purples and blues. You guys are awfully quiet. Are you busy pouring drinks or what? I love boho. Blueberry seems dark, but depending. So I'll do boho and you know, if you have orchid, I bet you it would be lovely to do an orchid on this. Boho and orchid might be really pretty. What is this called? I feel like this is a hyacinth, hydrangea. What is this? Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way so it doesn't get in trouble. So pretty, hey? This is going to be a very big contrast. Oh, you know what? I'm going to look for Misty Moonlight. And do I have Misty Moonlight in new or old? It's just not up there. Can you hear me gulping my stuff? It's really yummy. Oh, here it is right in front of me. All right, you could have drinked then too. You could have drinked then. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking. All right. Well, oh, greens. Ooh, I don't know what greens I'm going to use. Let's get going with this boho. And I have all bright blues. What's this nice one? That one's not bad. It's not really boho. What do I have over here? Well, I'll use a new one. All right, so now we're back to using these guys. So back to number one. This is maybe number one. Oh no, number 1, 2, and 3. I'll see them. Where's number 2? Number 2 is there. That'll be an outline. So number 3 will need a mark. So I'm going to put that in there. Oh, this is not far enough over anyway, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Lining everything up, remember I say. So I'm looking all around. When you see me adjusting things, I'm going to guess, but I'm looking. First I look here, then I look over here. Oh, that's not adjusted. Then I look here, then I look there. And I go back and forth until I get it lined up. That's why you see the adjustments and permutations. Hi, Anne. Hydrangea. Thank you, hon. And they can be like white with like greenish things, I know, and then they definitely can be beautiful lavender. So not quite boho, but more that color, right? And they can also be quite dark, can't they? And they can also be pink, can't they? I'm pretty sure. And do you know that because of your English roots, Missy? They grow in English gardens like hedges, like crazy. I like them. All right. All right. Ooh, so dark. It's a good thing I like it. I'm so surprised. That doesn't even look like boho. You guys are like, I know. Isn't boho really light? Oh, tabernacle. Pardon my language. Bring this back. Okay, so press firm down. I was going too much on that little bit of tape there, for goodness sakes. For goodness sakes. I got the hippie shakes. I think my favorite of these masks and stamps still, and I haven't done this one yet, so it's not really fair to jump the gun, but I love this stamp. Ouch. Okay, I have to tell you as I hit that, this one's not going to be bad, but that little guy that I just clicked my nail on, when you're doing these, this guy, usually as it gets finer and finer. That guy right there, you've got to watch when you're putting the ink on. If you get going too crazy or you're using like a sponge, because you can also use sponges and stuff, once you catch that the first time, if it lifts up, so you want to work with the way of the plastic. And I meant to say that when I was doing it, but I feel like I must have been in some other story at the time and didn't tell you that. But it's please use a little caution. So my tips are going to be way darker than everything else, which is not, and they are not going to come back. So they won't be darker, but they'll be darker than I kind of meant them to be. Anyways, okay. Pull that ink off here and there. That's just pretty, but it's much darker than I thought. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, I maybe take it back. Again, I'm going to cut this one out so I could be casual. You'll have to be very careful, honestly, if you're planning to do like a single layer card, you're going to have to be watchful because, all right, I'm going to do the same thing as I did last time as far as, go ahead, Lori, spit it out. As far as doing a tone on tone with the same color to begin with. Otherwise, you need to figure out 3 inks. And there are some of our inks that we have sort of 3 shades of the same color, and then some not so much, right? So now the background is going to be that softer shade, and these guys are going to be this darker blue. Oh my goodness. So away we go. Now, for those that watch Sarah, our CEO of Stampin' Up, has she done this set yet? Or is it's still pretty darn new. So she might not have. But I'll be curious because I know that she does get going with this. I'm not sure which day she does it. I don't know why I don't watch her more because she's always got good stuff. And I think one time, that's going to be gorgeous. Check it out. Watch. Bye-bye. So now it's like the shadowing. So that I love. That's perfect. This is the one that I'll be curious about. And we'll get it in here. Now at this point, you're going to make sure that you got your little guy up because we're going to be losing ground now. And again, on this one, I'm just going to make sure constantly there can be no white line showing. And I don't think there's any way that it cannot be lined up and not have white lines showing. Does that make sense? Now, I could be wrong, but now I'm going to pull in a little bit of Misty Moonlight for a little bit of darker. I could just do, well, I'll show you because I can come right over top with Misty. I'll do this one right here, just like this. And I'll show you what that's like, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest of it. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's pretty subtle. Can you see? I'll bring it out. What the heck? Why not? I'm showing it. Let's show it. Well, it might even be the right choice. I don't know what happened to this one. Look at that. I don't know why. Maybe he got inked while I was doing it. All right, now I'm hooped though. Okay, this guy is going to be the biggest guy. Littler. Oh, I'm completely lost right now, you guys. Ah! All right, here we go. So clearly that's not right. That's why I say, I feel like once you get going with it, if it's all covered, it's all right. It's all right. It can be a little bit subtle, but I really feel, I could be wrong. That's feeling a little better, actually. That's pretty much, I think it came right back. Oh, see, but then it's not going to work over here. Okay. Okay. I think mostly. All right, I'm going to try it with the darker. And then again, I'm trying to be careful of my shades. Oh, that's still boho. Here's my Misty. And Misty's just beautiful. I think it's very, it's soft enough. If I was doing this with navy, I don't know if I'd be as happy with the thought, but I think this one shade off is going to be good. Yay, it's going to be lovely. Ta-da! Beautiful. Nice, nice. Gorgeous, hey? Nice. Okay. So now the green is what? And I'm going to do the same green on this one. And I feel like I should have it be olive, are you thinking? I think so. Hi, Roz. Do you know why I'm saying hi again? And I have no problem. So I'm not calling you out. Facebook, I think, used to, if people kind of to and froed on the site, or like rolled up, check things out, come back to see what I'm doing now. But it's just, they come back. And of course, my brain is like, oh, did I see her name already? No, yes. Yeah, yes, I think I did. Oh, did I? Yeah, I'm sure I saw it. Yeah, so know that I'm not calling you out like, hey, you're back again. I see you. You went away and you came back. You all know that I hardly look up ever. So that's it. Yeah, I'm kind of saying squirrel basically is what I'm trying to tell you. Is if I see your name, it's like, oh, I'll come back again. You know, you're like, I'm not even talking. How do you know I'm here? Ha ha ha. How do you know? I think I've told some of you guys this story. My daughter, so kind of neat that she's here. She was supposed to clean her room. Like a good mom, I was making her clean her room, even when her cousins were here. And she'd come back downstairs and wanted to be, you know, not that she was missing part of the action. I probably was super simple. Anyways, and I was like, so you cleaned your room? And she's like, yeah. I was like, really? So she goes back up and she cleans it. Supposedly, she's back down like a minute and a second later. And I was like, so if I go upstairs with a garbage bag and everything that's on the floor I just put into the garbage bag, you'll be okay with that? How do you know? She said. So she stormed back upstairs. This is interesting. My blue is poking through. Can you guys see that? It's going to have blue and green on that. Oh, okay, that's just bad. That's not good. This comes because I've got the little tiny piece of paper, just saying. So the irony here now is instead of moving the mask, I'm moving them down the under piece, and I'm being blocked as I'm moving things by the tape, which isn't holding anything together anyways. Dun, da, da, da. All right. And I'm just going to tone on tone with this guy. So again, okay, I'm done with that piece. Let's go with the second green piece. See how the second one goes. We'll come over here. Da, 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 da. She'll be listening. She'll be like, how did you know, Mom? All right. Let's stick that there. Maybe it'll hold things better. So what are you guys all up to for the weekend? I was learning calligraphy. Did I tell you that? Yes, I think so, maybe. Yes, I did. So that was kind of fun at the library. It was offering a class, and of course I babbled all the way through because I'm used to talking and crafting at the same time. I was like, I'm sorry, people. Who likes these J's? I'm saying. That's funny that I said that like it was like the Blue Jays. I didn't mean that. The J's were super cool. The K's, I think, oh, I might be totally off on there. All right. I feel like I want just this right here. Okay. People kind of concurred with some of my letters and not all of them, but that's pretty. That's really pretty. All right, so I'm going to go over. I'm going to come back actually and do the bottom piece in this. And you say, with what color? I'm not sure. I think just the Granny Apple, just to get a little bit darker. I'm just really not happy with either the contrast or something. It looks really quirky. I would have probably been better tone on tone. You know what? I'm actually going to come in with this guy. Yeah, I think so. Hang on. You're like, you're just moving it. Helter-skelter, Lori, not helter-skelter. Right. No, that's going to be richer. I think this is going to work better. Of course, it's already unmasked as I'm doing it, so I can see. Is it working or isn't it? I was right to be scared of that shaded spruce. You guys know, if you were with me live 5 seconds ago, you know that I was like, I don't know, do I want to use shaded spruce? The answer resoundingly should have been no. I'll put that in my notes when I put this. Don't go right along with me. Do not use my first choice of colors. And do we know what kind of flower this guy is? Is it a type of flower or is it just a flower? Hopefully that looks better. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks way better, hey? Yes, much happier with that situation. Oof. Now, the question will be, do I have my dies? Oh, Anne's talking about the oops, how these grow, and that makes sense. And actually, that's even, I feel like the pinky purple color is actually exactly, it's actually almost all the same color practically, right? And in later years now, they might have more hybridy things, hey? But I think I have heard that somewhere too, that a lot of it has to do with just something interesting like that. That's cool. All right, so I came over here like really strong, like I knew what I was doing. Again, I was using these. Oh, I think I'm going to be lucky though. I think I'm finding my stuff. So I'm just die cutting these now to see what we can see. And this other one probably underneath this. Now, I'm going to have to look at there's a lot of interesting dies on here. Okay, FYI, when you go to pull these off the tape, also be careful. The tape is strong. The iron is as well. Okay, and some tapey-apey. This is a pretty set, hey? So this is new online exclusives that can be bought currently. And in 2 more months, again, we'll have more stuff to be able to be bought. Some cool stuff. It's hard to stay on top of this. If you're a demo of any kind, you'll be with me on that. You'll be like, I know, I can hardly keep track of what we're buying, what we're not, what's available for our customers, what we can pre-buy. Back in the day when there was I used to have a big, huge fun event with what's going to retire from the catalog. Essentially what's staying on is what we're better to ask right now. What do you think is going to stay in the catalog? But we used to have whole, like I used to give away stamp sets to the person that guessed the closest to what was going to stay or go. Those were the good old days. It was just fun. We could stay on top of what was going on. I can hardly stay on top of anything, which is kind of, whoa, takes the expert away from me. Oh, I kind of thought I went sideways. I'm going to have to cut that just a smidgen there. I'm just going to stay over here for 1 second. That's why I was throwing those guys in to get a couple leaves going here in the old olive. These leaves I love. I don't know if you saw me do it with the crazy plaid ones that I did yesterday, but I worked sort of with this set yesterday morning on the ABCs. So I do most work weeknights at 8, but then Thursday mornings, so I can go dancing on Thursday night with the band. That's actually how that started, in case you were kind of wondering. Last year, probably maybe January, I started doing Thursday morning, and about 13-14 weeks ago we started the actual ABCs, and they've been quite fun. I think most of us have been enjoying them. But Wednesday night I have a club where I teach a class each Wednesday night on Zoom, and you can join that. It's not exclusive. All right, if you have any idea what I'm doing, I'm clinking things down. $50 is for the month, and you can join each month or 1 month at a time, whichever. And we meet on Zoom, and you use all your own product. So you don't even have to be Canadian to be part of that club. And we do mostly fancy folds. And I think the biggest plus of that group is you guys, yourselves. All the great products that we find. Again, revisit. So several of the girls are longtime stampers as well. So I'm 22 years, and many of the people are sort of the same amount, and not quite that, but 15. Do you know what I mean? Oh, for goodness sakes. There, it loosened, I think. Ah! See, can you hear the difference? So it doesn't need to fall on the floor, but the as soon as it releases the die, it makes a ding. It's a sound of music to me. All right, so I cut 2 of those guys out. Did we get how this is? Hi, Karen. Oh, that is fun. What show is, what's the concert, Sharon? Okay, nobody's telling me what this other flower is, though. Is it just a flower? It might be. Stampin' Up! Does that sometimes. Can we work with them all on the same card? Size-wise, I'm not sure. So Stampin' Up's getting back to lots of scrapbooking. So these are a nice size to put onto a scrapbook page. If you can imagine, this is be the size of a scrapbook page, right? And so you could have some pictures in here and it'd be quite lovely. Let's see how they are for putting onto. So textures I was doing on Tuesday, and this is a torn piece of paper. It's kind of a neat texture. It would be kind of fun to add these guys on for some texture there. Just tuck in a little bit here and a little bit there. Some leaves. So one fits nicely on. This is a panel to be able to be layered onto yet another. Like this is just a panel, not a card base, but a panel. This is the wrong color, but it's one that I have. But just so that y'all understand, right? You know what I mean? So it's a layer. So you could overlap 2 of these. That would be okay. Covering up some of your good work though. So question for you, would you use both of them on the same? Would you use 2 of the same ones? Would you get a little fussier and cut out some extra stuff and push it around? Since I'm clearly covering it all up, would you actually cut that out and maybe stick it somewhere else? I could definitely do it the other way as well, but that makes me sadder. So part of me is like, no, I don't want to cover it up. So if you want to have the very most of both of them showing, it's a little bit tight on one card. Doable, but a little bit tight. And then definitely you can bring in some greenery here. Tuck that guy in a little tiny bit more. So doable. Does it feel crowded to you guys? Might be a little bit crowded feeling. Would you do different color choice, or is that the color choice that you would have? Maybe that in pink. I know I'm throwing some of you off probably with that. I'm going to bring in, I have boho right here. Boho and balmy blue. It seems fine on here because it's like the sky, but I don't think that's going to work. And I will say for me, so this is just some card making basics, that they feel like they're just like, whoa, funny. If they're, as soon as I put a layer on here, I'll grab a layer and you'll see what I mean. But once I put a layer on here, it'll ground them, which doesn't make any sense because it's just still another rectangle. So why does it feel grounded? I don't know. I don't even think it's because it's smaller. I think it's been grounded. And so at 5 1/4 by 4, it's barely smaller. So it's not the squishiness in this case, but watch and see how it feels grounded once I slide this in here. Did you hear whatever I was landing on? Oh, that was a cracker. I thought actually it was probably packaging, but so yes, I did move him a little bit, but I didn't mean to. Do you know what I mean? And I'll pull this guy back out. But doesn't that make you feel lighter? Somehow or another, having them framed, and that's basically what it is, the mat. By matting it, it's like, oh, same card, and it just looks better. So this is the wrong color. Do I have it in a different color? Oh, I could have it in a different color. So this is azure, but then we just put something like that. Does that feel crowded? You could stamp one tone on tone and then use the other as a central point. As a center point. You're saying tone on tone in the background, hey? Okay, I'll do that. We'll do that. I'll grab another. I'm going to do it on the boho. Would you do, well, I'm looking for the piece of paper. I can ask this. Would you do the other flower? Or if I'm pulling out boho, say, for instance, would I do the same hydrangea behind there a couple times? Or would you use the opposite color? Oh, boho is my in color. I'm looking forward to my regular colors. And the yellow, well, you know what? I'm going to bring over a yellow sheet for both reasons. Because I'm kind of feeling the boho is going to be gorgeous, I feel like. I don't know if I'm being colorist, but I'm not sure what I think I'm going to think of the daffodil. And I could pretend like it's on peach, but I'm going to go with, well, maybe I will. Ooh, okay, hang on, I got to check. Now I got to see daffodil. No, lemon lolly, sorry. All right. If you think I'm just babbling, you might be right. I've lost some of you now. You're not even drinking anymore, you guys. This is so boring. Jeez. It's bad when I get boring. I'm just having fun and you guys are like, well, I'll be here. I don't think I'm going to like this one, but I'll participate. 5.5. 4. Oh, and I would need to put this on this. But anyways, okay, here we go. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Ooh, okay. Okay. So I'm taking from Keisha that I'm going to stamp this behind here. And I'm going to stamp it in the same, I'm going to stamp it in boho. I'm going to stamp the same stamp. The same flowers. I think this is what she means. It's just to stamp it for some texture. Also a grounding method is what I think she's saying. It'll fill it out as well, but it won't be, and I don't know if she thinks I should do it just once. I'll do it just once to begin with. It takes away from the thought that I can do it around and around in circles. But I'm pretty sure that's what she's thinking. She was thinking. Tell me if I'm right with your thoughts there, Missy. And I can go boho on boho, or I could bring in a white at that point. I think I have a white right here. I could do something like that. Add a little bow and go with that. So that's kind of pretty, yeah? I think that's one of the thoughts she had. Now, the other idea that I have is, what I was wondering is, with this guy, was I going to ground it on this color? See, although I pulled it in with that, that's too much to me. What do you guys think? I feel like this is the prettier color. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? And on this one, once I add a couple of these guys, that adds a little tiny bit more too. That is pretty. Good choice, Missy Lou. Just up here, I think, just crazy. Maybe not. That's kind of pretty. That is nice. Okay, on this one, I'm actually going to clean the stamp. And I'm going to stamp the other. On one of these, I'll stamp the other. I do need to clean this. Hold on one second. Watch. Wait. Sorry, because I'm going yellow. I totally needed to. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to do it. This one, I'm going to do it yellow with a different thing. And I'm going to just kind of stamp I think randomly. I'll check this out just 1 second. There's fireworks. What day is today? What's going on? Happy whatever. Somebody thinks it's spring. We're having a discussion on what's spring, what's not. There's fireworks, Genevieve. Okay, I do really like that. Actually, I could even do that one on that color maybe. All right, so I'm going to do this in Lemon Lolly. And I'm going to do this guy. And I'm now wondering, do I do him, again, just the once? I'm going to do something kind of sneaky. I'm going to do this guy up here. Oh, he's really light, and I'm not surprised. And then I'm going to do this guy because I'm going to pretend like we can't see where that guy's going to be, basically. So I'm going to just matte because well, you know what? I don't even need to matte. It would be fine if this is crossed over. I want more leaves down at the bottom is what I was thinking. If he's there, I'm going to put this. Oh, I'm going to matte this. And I want some more leaves down here, basically. And what the heck? I'll matte this again. I don't want more leaves now, but I want some more flowers up over here. So it's so light. Lolly on Lolly is not a very good tone on tone. And that's why I went to wash it, because look how crazy that is. So pretty light tone. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, and I really can't either. But there. So it is a little, I will say, as far as the texture, it's fine, if that makes sense. I did probably need to mask a little bit more because I've got some kind of weird stuff going on there. That's okay. And I did feel like yesterday when I was doing this guy, distinctly needed to have leaves one way. And so that's okay. I don't know if you guys can see. Well, it's pretty subtle, hey? There, you can see it there. And then if I put that onto, it's quite pretty. It's subtle. And then a nice big white bow right there would be just pretty. I should have a white bow that I can add. And the words, come white bow, come little bow, come with me. Happy we will be. There, pretty. Somebody screenshot that. Screenshot, like centerfold. Ah, baby. Okay. All right, I like that. Let's do this one. And I'm going to do this one with that stamp. I'm going to pull this guy off. And what did I do with that stamp? I have a little drink, guys. I can't find that flower stamp. So there is a spring flower, a marsh marigold, I think, actually, now that I'm saying it. This looks like a marsh marigold to me. Wonder if it is. Anybody know what I did with it? Oh, here it is. Oh, but it'll be dirty. Let me go wash it for a second, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Phew. I was lucky. I'd be sad if my peach pie got black in it. Although I think it would be misty moonlight. Okay, so peach pie on this guy. And I know I'm way too close right now. I'm going further back there. I think I wasn't I? Little peach pie. And then we'll wrap it up because it could be 9 o'clock. Maybe that's what they were doing the things for. Happy whatever. Did I say happy whatever? I don't know what it is. Happy whatever it is. I don't know. Why are they doing that? Yeah, I'm going to do this way. I also could have put the blue on there. Maybe Keisha thought I could maybe, but I'm not sure. This is darker, so that's pretty. And I'm just going to do the one. And I'll bring this guy over here. I don't think I like it as much. Do you guys? Be honest. But when I was shifting it back and forth, I did kind of like it, if that makes any sense. And then I'll put this guy down here. Oh, white bow is always pretty. I don't not like it. I just don't like it as much, I don't think. What do you think? It looks nicer in the camera, I think. Anyway, screenshot that one and compare it to the yellow. So we have that one, and then we have this other choice of this blue guy. I quite like this guy. I would do this at a stronger angle. I could do a whole bunch on here as well. And then that can also have some flowery greenery. And I feel like there should be one more green somewhere. I can finish that card off like that. It also needs, I feel like we should have had boho, but maybe, oh, we do. Never mind, here it is. Have a nice boho bow. Boop, ba-da-doop. And some words, which I feel like I should have one more set of words. And then I can say, adieu, good night, sleep tight. I have no more words. Come on, words. Come on, baby, let my... Oh, where are my words? All right, you can drink. I stopped drinking, so I'm behaving better now. Friend. That would change the whole little angle of everything. But that could work, but generally, just not on this particular card. It actually is kind of fun. Oh, for goodness sakes, I have no words. I'll take this off, put it over here to show. All right, so there's the two of them. Ta-da! All right, I would definitely make 2 cards. Boo to me. Yes, boo to me. There, do you know, I know I bought it because of that guy. Even though I have 3 other hydrangeas through my 22 years of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I did like the idea of the masking on this. I don't think this one you could not mask. Maybe no, not stamp. I mean, I will try that, but not live. But I actually think you need to. One of the ones you don't 100% need to. Both of them, they're nicer. This is the other masking one for sure, and he just barely you could do without masking him. But anyways, and I think he's probably my favorite masking one. But this one is close second. This is close second, and then the third one is the third one. I can't even know. It's beauty, something beautiful, isn't it? Beauty. I don't know what it's called. You can't find it. That's okay. It's hiding because it doesn't want to get called out, so I won't call it out. I'll be fair. Hi, Kathy. You're catching the tail end. You'll have to go back and skip through. Working with, in case you're looking, the Thankful Garden. Thankful Garden. And it is masks and dies. And then I will say, some of the dies, I'm thinking that you can just cut this die out maybe. There's a couple odd dies in here. Let me show you just really quick and then I'll let you go just for the people. Because I was looking at it. It's 2 rows of dies and I'm like, well, what are they cutting out? Hang on. So the 2 kind of neat ones. So the 2 big shapes, that's obvious. The 2 fun leaves, which I love, love, love. And then this guy. Like, what's that? And what are those? Oh, keep in mind, so I'm going to open it up because they're bigger than we think. So that's half of it, right? So, but what is this? Like, what is that, you guys? What is that? What is that? I'm gonna have to look for a professional person to tell me that. What is that? I don't know. And then this leaf is that leaf, I think. And then there's 2 or 3 of those. That's handy. And then this flower, see? And then there's single leaves as well. There's all sorts of leaves. And then I feel like, yeah, this guy cuts out this guy. So that's nice. I was wondering, when I saw this, I thought, because again, I'm thinking, this size, right? And I thought, well, that'll be a little bit weird because he's overlapping, but that makes sense. So you can cut him out so you can pop him up to boot. So I love that guy. It's just this guy. He just must be a section of these guys. That's what that is. Look at me figure it out. So he is some section of these guys. I'm not sure which section, but so that you can pop out a little bit extra of those guys. So I will figure out which section, and I will mark it, I guess, somehow on my stamp so I know. But that'll be kind of fun. So I'm betting anything that's to pop up some section of this. That's my guess. My best guess. All right, and then the little tiny extras. Oh, I'm going to have to look and see. There's a lot of little extras on here. For something pretty. More than what I know. All right, I will let you go. I will talk with you guys later. Denise, good, welcome. Yeah, I will see you all Monday live at 8. It'll be great. See you then. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.